Pleasure to have Ed Leclerc, who is the founder and CEO of High Science. It's got four pillars that he's going to be explaining. Very successful TV show that just finished their first season, and they're really promoting the education of cannabis. It's a pleasure having you, Ed. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you very much for inviting me. This is a great honor. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And so where are you calling us from, buddy? Where are you residing?
I'm in Arizona, Scottsdale, Arizona, and right now it's beautiful weather. And thank God hell is gone, and we can get into some nice weather. The triple digits can get to you after so many days.
Oh, I can't imagine that. And yeah, I love visiting. I've been to the Grand Canyon 3 or 4 times, but I don't
Yeah.
go when I go when
No.
it's in the winter.
Yeah, this is what I call Chamber of Commerce weather. It's absolutely beautiful here right now. 80s during the day, 60s at night. It's just gorgeous this time of year.
Yeah, it is. I love that state too. It's a gorgeous state.
Yes, it
Um,
is.
so what we'd love to start with on our the podcast here is your origin story, because both you and your partner David McKellop are very esteemed colleagues, and so you've had quite illustrious careers. And so before you started High Science, I would like to know how you started into the entertainment industry in general, like working with Wolfgang Puck, which I read about. Do you mind going back that far?
Yeah, no, 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 no. Years and years ago, I started a theming company, and we had a little over 40,000 square feet and 68 employees. And we used to do theming, whether it's for Disney or Planet Hollywoods or Wolfgang Puck or whatever. And our artists would come up with, you go into a restaurant, a rainforest cafe, and you feel like you're in a rainforest there. So that's basically what we were. We're in the theming business. We built volcanoes for Six Flags, redid the Mirage volcano in Vegas, did Planet Hollywood in Vegas, New York River out front, you name it. It was just really fun doing that business. Then we sold it and took some time off, and I got into producing shows within the Harley Davidson industry and
Oh,
traveled
interesting.
the country and produced shows with like Leonard Skinner, Blue October, Leon Russell. The list goes on, and I'll take you real quick into my music room,
Please do.
but kind of give you a little flavor of what I've done. But you can see my
Wow.
guitars. There's 70 something
Wow.
guitars, and they're all signed. And
Wow.
there's Charlie Daniels fiddle, and the list just goes on.
That is amazing.
And then I got drumsticks here from Zach Starr and Jason Bonham, and the list goes on. And
You've got
you
them
can see
from
moments from
Bonham's
when
son?
yeah,
Mhm.
Jason Bonham's son. He used to play the
Yeah.
drums. Well, he still plays the drums, but
Uh-huh.
he played the drums with one of the bands that we had, and it was a joy to meet the guy, and I had a lot of fun with him. And next thing you know, it started my drumstick collection as well. So I don't know what the family's going to do with all that crap once I'm gone, but right now it's a lot of fun to go in there and sit and reminisce of the many years of putting on concerts. And then
Yeah.
David
Uh-huh.
McKellop, my partner, when I started High Science, I was looking for somebody that was really knowledgeable about the television industry because I'm new to that, even though I knew entertainment. And they recommended I talk to David McKellop, and I did. David
Mhm.
was instrumental in Discovery and A&E, and his claim to fames are Duck Dynasty, Ice Road Truckers, Deadliest Catch, Pawn Stars,
Mhm.
Longmire, blah, blah, blah. He's won a couple Emmys. It's been a delight to have him spearhead what we're doing because he is definitely our creative director and did great with our show with what we were given.
Yeah, so you were the one that originally created High Science and then brought on David?
Yes. Yeah. And the way
Okay.
that came about is I had acoustic neuroma, and I don't know if you know what that is, but
I don't. Please explain it to the audience.
it's a brain surgery. Back in 2018, it was discovered in 17 that I was going to need surgery. Well, anyway, since the surgery, I spent 33 days in ICU, and they went into my head twice, and the list
Oh my
goes
God.
on. But I have no balance. I have a little bit of Bell's palsy on my right side. It kind of you know, it messes with me every day, all day long, but I'm here, I'm breathing, I'm smelling roses instead of pushing them up. But during that time, I thought it would be great because before I went into when I understood I had a tumor in the head, I started
Mhm.
smoking dope like a freaking madman. And, and when they went in, they said it was more like a cyst like instead of a tumor. They had never seen anything like that, even though it took them, between the two operations, it was 20 something hours, but it still was more cyst-like, and they said it was a little bit easier to remove. And I asked my neurosurgeon if he thought cannabis had anything to do with it, and he said, as all neurosurgeons probably would say, big pharma doctors, said,
Yeah.
no, cannabis has nothing to do with it. Well, bullshit. So,
Yeah.
you know, they were giving me this medicine that I told him, he said, you're going to be taking this the rest of your life. I said, no. I said, I'm not. So when I went back for my 1 year anniversary, he goes, Ed, I'm
Hmm.
not filling your prescriptions anymore. What are you doing? I said, well, Doc, I
Hmm.
told you I wasn't going to take your medicine. Let's go out in the
Yeah.
parking lot. I got one rolled up. I'll show you what I'm doing. So uh, it's kind of our joke between me and Dr. Iskandar. But that's when I fell in love with what I believe cannabis could do and
Yeah.
started really researching it and traveling the country finding the right entrepreneurs that's in the industry that I
Hmm.
consider the OGs of the OGs to be in the
Gotcha.
show. And
Yeah.
these guys, these men and women, are
Uh-huh.
so freaking passionate about this plant. They're more worried about helping somebody than making a dollar.
Mm.
They honestly believe in this plant. And since I really researched and saw what it could do with Parkinson's and
Hmm.
epilepsy and PTSD with veterans, I'm on a quest right now with David that we want to
Yeah.
educate and we want to help to destigmatize and build this community and help people, especially our veterans and our kids. So
Yeah.
do
That,
I believe in recreation? Yeah, I do
uh,
to a point. Anybody can abuse anything, just like alcohol. But
sure.
I do believe it has a lot of medical components to it, and we've just touched on a very few.
So how long before you started this journey interviewing these people, when did you know you wanted to make it a TV show? Or did you do the journey to make it a TV show?
We did the journey to make it a TV show.
Okay.
I started the journey after surgery in 18. I was able to really start traveling in 19. 20 COVID hit. I lost
Yep.
2.5 years of my life there, like the rest of the world did. And
No doubt.
yeah, and then we finally was able to travel and shoot the rest of the series. And we aired in November of last year.
Where did you
So we
air it?
have
Where did you air the
we
series?
well, we were going to go on stream on cable network, and I won't
Okay.
tell you what network, but we were a big network. And they told me you're showing too much cannabis. You're showing too much products. You're showing well, it's a freaking cannabis show. How
Yeah.
are you going to not? So it was all this we couldn't instead of telling
Hmm.
us what we could do. So David and I
Right.
went on. We started a channel on YouTube, HSTV, and
Oh,
we aired
wow.
it there. So
HSTV. Okay.
HSTV on YouTube,
Okay.
and now we're getting ready to start a fast channel on. We hope Roku or one of those that we can everybody we can really give a voice to the community out there and really do some shows about the incredible work of this plant. But not only that, we need to talk about plant science in whole,
Yeah,
from
please do.
dandelion roots to, microdosing with mushrooms. I believe microdosing with mushrooms are the only thing that's really going to help our veterans with PTSD. So cannabis is a great start, but I think the microdosing of the mushrooms is the way to go. So
Okay.
that's what I think. That's what season 2 is going to be about. We're going to touch on that. I'm excited about what we possibly can do with high science and bring in the knowledge and education to the forefront so people can truly understand it.
Right. Now, how many episodes was your first season? on YouTube
First
TV.
season is 8 30-minute episodes.
Okay. And you interviewed some of your, you said there's some of your OGs. So you interviewed
Yeah. If you look at
distributors.
if you look at two that really come out and stand out as
Hmm.
Meg Sanders and Eric in Massachusetts, two
Hmm.
incredible entrepreneurs, started Canna Provisions, was very instrumental in Colorado before they moved to Massachusetts. Their
Okay.
dispensary in Holyoke is like going into an art studio. It is absolutely beautiful. You can see, feel, touch, smell. It's just a piece of art. And then their dispensary that they have in Lee, Massachusetts is like a little, I'd say it's like a little cottage next to the woods in the Berkshires. Just beautiful. If you ever make it up that way, you need to go to their dispensary. And you will also meet the legendary Kim Dog with his strains that's in their facilities. Then you go out to California and you go in the San Francisco area and meet Shord, which is Gene Finder OG. He's got a field of about 70,000 plants, outdoor grow.
Wow.
Absolutely. He's from the Netherlands, knows his shit, third generation in this industry.
Wow.
You go into his indoor grow and it's like walking into a museum. Acapulco Gold or Jamaican Red or African Black. And he's got all those old original plants that date way back. And then there's John Piasecki in Great Barrington, Massachusetts. Incredible guy. Grows on I don't know how many acres he's got, but he's got about 7,500 plants. Each plant's about 10 pounds per plant, 8 to 10 pounds per plant. Just really knows his stuff and is so down to earth. He's just, and then we come to California, I mean, to Arizona, and we go to
Mhm.
Tucson to Lava with Mo and Chip, 160,000 square feet of grow, two of the largest dispensaries in the state, knows what is all going on. And he really got in the industry because of his mother with cancer. And I mean, the list just goes on about who's in our show. And I could go all day long about the different OGs that I believe are in our show that's been there from the time. And if you look at Kelly Moss is in his 70s, in his 40s, late 40s. He's been in the industry 30 years. So he comes from the dark side over to the light once it became legal. So the word on the street is in our little episodes. It's like the halftime of the show, and it's all Kelly. But it was really fun doing and really fun seeing what these people are all about. And I can't wait for you. Everybody needs to see the show. You can go to highscience.com and click on where our TV, and it'll take you right to it.
It'll take, oh, it will. It'll
It
take
will.
us to the YouTube
Yep.
channel. Oh, wonderful.
Yes, it will.
Now, how did you get David interested? I know that you were told to talk to him, but he's got all of these. I mean, he's got Gettysburg. He's got all of the TV shows that you've listed that he was producing on.
Well,
Did he already? What was his experience with cannabis before?
he had zero,
He
zero.
had zero
Uh,
experience. So
yeah,
how did you even get in front of him? I know that you said you
the,
were in marketing, or I'm sorry, you were,
yeah.
you know,
The real thing
inventor.
that David came out of retirement for, because he retired, he came out of
Okay.
retirement is because we own the IP. Unlike his other shows, the network owned the IP. High
Mhm.
Science, we own the IP. So,
I see.
at that point, he was like, we own the IP. I'm coming out. Let's do it. And the rest is history. So he's been great. I don't know what I'd have done without David, to be honest with you.
Wow. So he traveled to all these places with you when he was doing it.
He traveled mostly to the East Coast because that's where he's at up in Vermont,
Okay.
mostly to the East Coast locations, but he did come
Mhm.
out to the West Coast with me a couple times.
Okay.
But you got to
And
remember,
then,
everything goes back to the edit room, and that was in
yeah.
Colorado. And then once
Okay.
it comes out of edit, it went to him
Hmm.
via email. And
Hmm.
he reviewed it and tweaked it and blah, blah, blah until we got it like he wanted it. And then we aired it.
Now, can you go into the four pillars of high science? What is behind it?
Yeah, we want to bring education through entertainment. We want to
Okay.
help to destigmatize, and we want to build a community. And
Mhm.
through that, we started the High Science Charity Foundation. It's a 501c3
Mhm.
through the IRS. And our goal is to help kids with epilepsy and veterans that are having PTSD problems.
Yeah.
So that's and whatever we do, whether you go to highscience.com and buy t-shirts or hoodies or whatever, a percentage
Mhm.
goes to our charity. We're in the
Mhm.
process of starting High Science Charity. I mean, High Science 420 mobile with Boom Mobile.
Mhm.
And then we also have the 420 High Science 420 podcast with Landon. And, it's just trying to build as much as we can within this community so we can really educate and help a lot of people through it. I'd love to do a cooking show.
Mhm.
That's my ultimate, is to do a cooking show, how to cook with cannabis or mushrooms or whatever it might be. A lot of people
Mhm.
don't want to smoke it. They don't like the texture of a gummy. Well, but you know what? You can do a slab of butter on your steak or a butter on your bread or whatever the hell it is. I think that a cooking show, an infused cooking show, would be fun.
I've never even thought of that, an infused cooking show. Now, would it affect
Yeah.
you differently than like smoking? Because smoking versus a
Well,
gummy are different. They're different feelings. They're different.
Well,
I
I
know
won't
from
say it's
experience.
different feelings. I will say it takes longer if you have a gummy, unless you have a fast acting. But most gummies take about 30, 45 minutes to act, to do something
Mhm.
where you start feeling a little something. Whereas smoking, you kind of, while you're smoking it, you feel something. But cooking, it's like rip and dip into that butter and let's go, man. Let's have a good time. So,
And
I
and
think
does it taste like normal butter? Like how does it taste?
well, it's any kind of, whenever you put cannabis or THC into something, it changes the flavor a little bit, but it's not bad. There's things you can do to overcome it pretty much.
Uh,
But I like the flavor. I mean, I have no problems with it. And I don't think I like go to the dispensary on a weekend. You're going to meet a lot of older guys that's there trying to remember what they used to do when they were kids. But
yeah,
they're unable to smoke now. And gummies, they really have a problem with their teeth and stuff because they're up in age.
yeah.
So that's when I came up and told David, let's do a cooking show. We could have some fun with that.
That's so intelligent. So you're gonna have your season two is gonna be about microdosing with mushrooms because I've heard that I've heard a lot of people rave about that actually.
It really goes in and resets the brain, and I think that is the only thing that's really going to help our veterans, especially help in mental illness. So
Yeah,
we here in the United States and around the world, there's such a mental illness problem, and we're just putting people on the street living in boxes and shit. And I mean, that's not the way
yeah,
we should treat our people, especially those that fought for us to give us the freedom to do what we're doing today.
exactly right. Are you a
We
veteran
need.
yourself, sir?
I'm not a veteran, even though I am a member of the VFW because of my father. But
Uh-huh.
I grew up in a veterans family. I was young when Vietnam ended, and
Mhm.
the draft stopped, and my father and my brothers seen so much. I was the baby of the family. They really didn't want me to go into war, go into
Mhm.
service. Now I could kick
Sure.
myself in the ass for not doing that. But I think I have a lot of people telling me, Ed, you're doing more than being a veteran just by helping our veterans. So that's
Yeah,
that's what
exactly.
we're out on a mission for, is to help our veterans.
Yeah. How many how much of a how have you been able to reach people? So have you gotten a big response from the TV show itself?
We
How are you
have
promoting people to get people to buy the products and how are you reaching out to people?
of social media, of
Okay.
podcasts like this. We got a press agency, Fleur.com, that sends out press releases periodically. We've been in magazines, you name it. People call and want to do interviews. So that way. But if you want to find out about our charity foundation, again, you can go to highscience.com, click on the charity foundation. You can even make a donation there. And listen, you don't have to make a big donation. Every little dollar helps.
Yeah, your
All
website
adds
is
up.
expensive. It's a very detailed website, and there's a lot. I can't believe how many products you have
We,
that are hemp based. How did you get into that space with all of those products? Did you partner up with somebody with that for that as well?
well, we went overseas to bring our products in because a lot of them are hemp based, so we wanted to make sure we had the right products. And to be honest with you, when you're looking at a hemp based T-shirt here in the United States, at the time I was looking at them, they were $40, $50 for a T-shirt before I even embroidered them and then tried to retail them. So.
Yeah,
Uh, we had to do a lot of soul searching out there to try to bring in the best products so that we then could have a little room to give back to our charity. But
yeah.
now people are starting to come forward. I have a couple manufacturers that want to talk to us and really join the high science community. So we have all of our clothing on 50% off now. So closeout sale
Oh, wow.
because we in season two will be coming out with a whole new line, more hemp based than anything.
Hemp based. Okay.
Yes.
Got you. And then why did you make that decision to make it hemp based?
I really want to get rid of cotton and polyester. I mean, we're high science. We should be talking about hemp, the
What I
Constitution.
assumed.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
soap and uh, things like
Yeah.
that. 1 acre of hemp, you got to realize 1 acre of hemp produces as much paper and products as 4 acres of trees.
Wow. Wow.
So
I did
we need
not
to
know
really
that.
bring, yeah, we need to bring hemp back into this country for rope and textiles and,
Yes.
you name it. I got a buddy that I'm talking to right now. I want to do a show on him in Costa Rica, and
Hmm.
he's doing hemp-based block and hemp-based wood. Well, if
Hmm.
you build your house with that, you don't have to worry about insects, termites, nothing. Fire, it's like thousands of degrees before you have to worry about a problem with fire. I mean, the
Wow.
list goes on of why you should go with a hemp based product. And again, that's us with education. And I want to show it how it's being made. So, in his plants in Costa Rica, and he ships all over
Okay.
the world.
Yeah, where is that where most of the hemp is based? Where is most of the hemp produced right now?
I really couldn't tell you. I know Thailand's
Okay.
got an awful lot of hemp. Costa Rica seems to. That's why he's there. I really couldn't tell you, but I do know with the hemp bill that Trump signed in his first go round,
Mhm.
people were trying to do it for other reasons. We need to get into it and do more with it with hemp concrete, hempcrete, and hemp wood.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. My family raves about the hemp plant and how much it benefits
Yep.
society. Now, are your
Well, it cleans the soil as well. I mean,
oh, does it?
if they got contaminants in the soil, it's gonna draw it out of the soil.
I didn't know that. Now when you're doing season two, when do you plan on filming that?
We'd like to start in spring of next year.
Okay.
So we will gear up probably with a story writer in January, put the production team together in February, and hit the road March or April. Probably filming out here in the West first and moving our way up north when the snow dies down and we can get in there and do some things because I'm from Arizona. I don't even think I own a coat.
How long does it take to produce these eight half an hour? I know you do a lot of editing, but how long does a season take to produce?
Well, you
Film.
got to remember when you're doing an episode, you're probably doing thousands of hours per episode to break it down into a 30-minute
Right.
uh, production. And you might shoot some of episode one, and then the next day you're shooting episode three, and then you're shooting
Yeah.
back into episode two. It just kind of makes sense when you're scheduling. Once you got the storyline, your little Bible, I like to
Yes.
call it, that tells us what we need to shoot. Then you can kind of work it that way because all the magic's done with David in the edit room.
Yeah, of course. That's really where it's made, right? Is the editing?
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got your camera guys out there, whether you got one, two, three cameras, and we used to have three, and then you got your sound guy that has to link with the sound with the production. It's
Mhm.
not like this where we talk right into it and there it is. So you
Right.
sound's going in one section, film's going in another direction, and it's all
Wow.
joined together along with color editing in the production edit room.
Yeah. Do you put do you based music. I'm assuming music's a part of it too.
Yep,
The
we gotta locate music, and then we have to license it,
Yeah.
and then we have to fill out all the paperwork. If we shoot in somebody else's building, we got to get releases to show that building.
Wow.
Everybody that's in a show, we have to get releases. So there's a lot of legal work from our legal team just before we even hit the road going out there and
Yeah, before
do
you can even
production.
go out there, you've got to
Right.
and put all of that together. That's got to be months of production to do that, just to get it ready to go.
Yep, yep, it is. And it's I learned a lot. I'll tell you, I hate to say this, but I was a virgin going into it, but
Yeah.
I'm wet behind the ears now. I'm ready.
That's how entrepreneurship is, man.
Yep.
Anyone that tells you different isn't telling you the truth. Now,
Right.
are you in front of the camera? Are you interviewing
No.
people a lot? Oh, you're
I
not.
am strictly behind the scenes, and I'm an executive producer, co-creator with David. There's no reason for me to be on camera. I bring nothing to it. These entrepreneurs like Meg, Eric, John Piasecki, but the list goes on. That's the real that's the real stars of the show, not me. I'm just a producer.
Is the show based like you're interviewing them? Is there somebody not you? I mean, your team is
Yeah,
interviewing them?
we had a father and son duo, Richard and Rick, out of Colorado. They owned
Okay.
Clear Cannabis, and they were like our host of the show that would go
Okay.
around and talk to people and walk through dispensaries and made me sit down and break bread with them and talk about how they got in the industry and stuff like that. So it was really nice.
Great.
Having a father and son, and
That's
then their
great.
assistant Monica, and David had great luck with father and son teams, teams in the past with his past shows.
I got you. So I'm assuming you're going to do that for season two too. A different father, a
Well,
different.
I don't know if we're going to go with a father and son team or if the father and son team will just be in the show. I thought it
Okay.
would be great. I thought now this is coming out and telling you something I probably shouldn't, but I'd love to get an old Volkswagen bus and
Yeah.
have two bros on the road.
Cool.
Maybe it's Kelly and somebody else, and they're just having fun crossing the country in this old Volkswagen bus, bringing a show to the people, education to the people.
I
I
mean,
think that would be a lot of fun.
and it would really fit a lot of what the theme of what you're doing.
Yeah,
Don't you?
I was at a convention, a medical convention, a couple of years ago, and I met Didi Muir. Didi Muir is one of the top scientists in the world. He's out of Israel, who studied under McShulam, which was the godfather of cannabis. But anyway, uh, I asked Didi, I said, Didi, would you tell me the difference between cannabis and mushrooms? And this is his exact words. Ed, sit down. Cannabis is the little village, the little village. Mushrooms is the kingdom.
Wow, because there's so
He
many different
said,
kinds. Mhm.
well, because it really goes in with microdosing and helps to reset the brain. And that's the only thing that's really going to help us with our mental illness and everything here. I met a retired general, four-star Marine General Marty Steele. Again, he is uh, a big proponent on mushrooms for mental health. He's always lobbying Congress and the VA hospital. He said, Ed, cannabis is one thing, but microdosing with mushrooms is what's going to help our veterans. We got to get that out to the public.
No, why is it getting resistance? Because Pharma can't make any money off of it?
You know as well as I do, whether it's cannabis or it's mushrooms or it's dandelion roots or the list goes on, Academy. If the big pharma can't, this is my opinion, so don't write me a letter, please, or send an attorney to see me. This is my opinion. If they can't patent it,
Yeah.
they don't want anything to do with it. They want to keep that illegal. This is a I don't think anybody's ever died. In fact, I know no one's died from cannabis. A lot of people's died from
No,
opioids. A lot of
of
people died
course.
from fentanyl. A lot of
Of
people died
course.
from overdosing on freaking alcohol. I don't know
Yes.
anybody. When I smoke, the only thing I want to do is eat a Wendy's triple, a Biggie fry, and a Frosty and listen to some good music.
You're exactly right. And that's why you often have to go to other countries to get these types of treatments because they
Yep,
won't offer.
exactly.
That's a big reason this podcast exists, by the way, is because of
Good.
it's a big
Well,
reason.
we're going to advertise for you. Our social media team led by my son Jeffrey, will spearhead getting us out wherever it's got to go. We have another cohort in Australia that works very closely with us, that is also in the UK. So
Mhm.
we got a big social media following as far as getting it out there. So we'll do what we can to get your podcast out.
Oh, I really appreciate that, man. And I really commend you, Ed, for the energy that you put into this. I call people like you white light warriors because you're spreading white light, and that's what this is. You're helping the people that need it the most, the marginalized. I and then the microdosing, I can't get anyone, the few people I know that know about it, they speak the world of it. I know some people that do it on their own,
Right?
as far as growing it to microdose, and they
Yep.
tell me rave about the effects of it on the brain. I know I've known so little about it. But if you're going to be so if you're going to be going out in the spring, when do you plan to do this season two of High Science? When do you plan on having it ready for us to watch?
I'd like to have it like we did this year in November of 26 next year. So
Okay.
we'll start shooting and then getting it out. So we season one aired in November, started airing in November. Every Wednesday at 4:20 Eastern time is
That's
when it
clever.
aired, and we're gonna do the same again this time. It's like the 4:20 will be when it airs, starting in November, and we'll do a big media push to let everybody know when it's going to start airing.
And that'll be on YouTube TV, correct?
That'll be on YouTube TV unless we start our own channel, which we're in negotiations of right now. The first plant science network on TV, and that's what we really
Wow.
want. Is we want to give the community a voice, a place to go that's not regulated by, you know, big pharma. You know, if you look at most networks, look at the
Oh,
advertisers.
oh, the
I'd say
advertising.
70, 80, 90% of them is big pharma. You know, it's
It's what
crazy.
keeps them on the air. It's what keeps them on the air is the money they're getting from the advertisements. So
Exactly. And if they ever cut that off, they're screwed.
exactly. So that's the problem we have is
Yep.
that they have so much of the money. They have so much of the market share of the money. It's really hard to tackle that giant.
Yep. It is.
Unfortunately.
And I believe once it goes legal, I believe big pharma, tobacco companies, beverage companies are going to jump in with both feet.
Hmm.
I just hope they don't hurt the industry, and I hope that the suits, as the OGs call them, the suits, I hope they
Hmm.
don't come here in and really hurt the industry, because the people that are in it love this plant, and they're more about helping somebody than making a dollar. Yeah, they want to make money, but they're all about helping somebody.
Yeah, they're
And
about the product.
it
Yeah.
is. You hear
Mhm.
about somebody that is bedridden in cancer and hospice or something. Next thing you know, that person's got gummies or whatever, and give
Yes.
them somewhat of a quality of life so that they go out in peace, knowing their family and loving, instead of just
Yes.
being drugged up, laying in a bed. I mean, I told my wife, I said, I hope that never happens to me. I said, I'd rather you just put a pillow over my head and smother me than let me sit there as a vegetable in a bed. All you're doing is taking the money from your family, what little
Exactly.
you have.
Yeah.
It's just a crazy way we live. You can put a horse or a dog or a cat down, but if somebody's got a terminal illness, we're going to milk them till they go.
I couldn't agree with you more. Well, again, all that's for the money as well.
Yep.
It's a money making industry. So
Yeah, it is.
it's if they can make money off of it, that's why they do chemo instead of alternative medicines because there's so much money in the treatment than there is much more than there is in the cure. That doesn't make
That's it.
anybody.
It makes me believe. All they want to do is put a band-aid on something.
Of
They
course.
don't want to they
Yes.
don't want to actually cure it. They just want to put a band-aid on it.
No, because they're the ones getting paid for the Band-Aid. So
That's
that's why
right.
it's
That's
about
right.
money.
That's right.
But how much is enough money? You're going to make money on normal things like normal procedures that are needed, surgeries that are needed. You know what I mean? It's not that we don't need modern medicine. We just don't need it in all the ways. We don't need it in the pharmaceutical injury for the most part with getting the proper nutrients, the proper aminos, I mean, just
If
don't get me started. I'm a health
Oh,
nut.
yeah.
So
See, I I take CBN every day to work
Great.
with my anxiety. I've taken
Yes.
methylene blue. You know, I'm really into peptides. We're connected to a lab right here in Cave Creek for peptides, and we're going to be coming out with a line. We just launched I Love Oil, and it's a seedless oil. I won't say it's a palm oil, but it's somewhat like it. But
Mhm.
it's a lot healthier for you, and it's just a great oil that we're going to hit the market with, and it's going to be on. Oh, excuse me, it's going to be on our Amazon uh, uh, website as well as our online Walmart website, and then at highscience.com.
Do you already have those websites, the websites that you're talking about?
Yep, you can go to Amazon and punch in High Science, and you'll see our products that we have. It's
Oh,
mostly shirts and
wonderful.
hats and stuff. You can go into Walmart online and punch in High Science, and again, our merch will come up. And you can go to
Wonderful.
highscience.com and look at our merch, and we got more there than we do on Amazon and Walmart.
Oh, it's amazing how much merch I've never seen more products than what you guys have, including
Yeah,
that chair.
and
I saw that chair that you guys sell. Is that
chair.
made of
It's
hemp?
it's
Is that
It
chair made
it
of hemp?
no no it's
Oh,
not. It's a pine chair and a shape with a cannabis back. But yeah, that's my cannabis throne I sit out by the pool on.
that's hilarious. I was like, how in the
Yeah.
world do they have furniture? I'm like, there's a furniture section for this?
Yep. Yeah, we
I
do.
had I had to see
So
that.
it comes broken down and you put it together. It takes you about 30-40 minutes to put it together, and instructions are in there and away you go. It's a lot of fun. A lot of people's bought them. And then we got a whole line of sterling silver jewelry. We
I
got
saw that
smell proof
extensive,
bags. Yeah.
extensive jewelry.
Yeah. Smell proof bags. Not that we want you doing something illegal with it, but if you're storing it around the house, you can keep it in a smell proof bag.
No,
So we got all
it,
kind of stuff on there.
wow, so creative. You guys have been so creative with the website. It is so detailed.
Thanks. Thank you.
I haven't seen anyone in your space as developed as you guys are, let
Well,
alone
I,
the credentials you both have in the production department.
I want to say that, Open Flow got us going. Great company to deal with. They're just incredible to work with over at Open Flow, Hunter and the group. And then they've taught a lot to my son, and my son's taken over the website, and Jeff has really taken it to a new level. He's doing incredible work.
Oh, he's your son's the one that developed all of that?
My son,
After Open
Open Flow
Flow?
started it, and then my
Sure.
son's taken it over, and now he's tweaking it here and there. So my son
Sure.
is knee deep in it every day.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. It shows.
Thanks.
I talk to
Thank
people
you.
all the time with websites. Help people build businesses. I have some of my own, and it's extremely impressive. It's very noticeable how good the website
Thank
is.
thank you. Thank you.
Ed, what? So I want to get a nice reel for your website and your social medias that your son's doing.
Right.
Why would someone come to High Science? Can you please give me like a synopsis? What's going to happen to the person that comes to High Science's website and
When
their
when you go to
t-shirts?
High Science website, first of all, you're going to get educated. It's a lot of information on there about cannabis and the people that's in the cast, and how to reach them if you want to talk to them. That's the
Mhm,
first thing. The
mhm.
second thing is, there's the charity foundation, so you can give back to a charity that's out doing stuff for, especially with Veterans Day coming up in November, right around the corner. So
Next a week from today.
yeah, so you can help in that way. There's so much. You can watch the show. You can see our sizzle reels. We've had people call us about doing sizzle reels for them, a little 3 to 5 minute sizzle reels. We've had
Mhm.
people call us that want to do their own television show. So we're filming that, putting some of those together. I can't really
Oh wow,
say
so
who
you're
they
actually
are.
producing for other people.
Well, yes, we are. Our production crew just got back from Colombia, up in the Santa Marta Mountains. They were filming the Kogi Indians and their
Oh
cannabis
wow.
and coffee that they're growing up in the mountains, way up in the hills of Colombia. So our crew spent a week up there filming, putting a little documentary together for the Kogi Indians and the Younger Brothers with their coffee. And again, you can go on to Amazon and see the coffee beans that they produce up there. It's great coffee.
Oh, that's awesome, man. I'm really proud of what you're doing, Ed. You and your family. I'm glad it's a family-run operation. Mine is too. I'm always glad to see those. And I wish you luck with your health that you've been battling. I can't wait to hear about this season two. I'll probably be hitting you up about season two again if I can.
Well,
In your
please do. And if
email.
you want to interview David, David would love to. He's open to talking to anybody.
Oh wow! Actually, I would love to do that. I'll have
Okay.
Nate set that up because I would love to talk about the production, TV production in general, and of course,
Yep.
how I got involved with this.
And
Because again,
it
it's
it's
almost all entrepreneurs that watch these channels, this channel.
oh good.
So they
Good.
love hearing about, they really loved hearing how you put this together. That is what everyone loves about this podcast is that. It's
Well,
really the story of the entrepreneur.
I'm easy to get a hold of. You can go to highscience.com. I'm all over it. And phone numbers, everything. My wife calls my phone a growth on my body because it's always with me. So I'm very easy to get a hold of and would love to talk to anybody that wants more information about this industry or somebody that's in it. And if I don't know the answer, I'll be quick to get you in touch with one of these OGs that can answer a question for you.
All right. Well, thank you, Ed. My audience is going to love this podcast. And I thank you so much for your time today. And I'll have my guys give you the full edited podcast and the reels when they're done with them
Okay.
sometime this week.
Sounds
And
good.
I will, and I'll have now Neat set up a time to see if we can get David on here too. That would be great.
You got it. I love it. All right, man.
All right. All right. God
All
bless,
right.
Ed. Take care. See you.
Thank you so much for everything.